Hello everybody and welcome to Almost Solitaire. Today we're gonna check the last featured battle in the Commands and Cars Ancient bonus pack 2. So it's the Battle of Pydna 168 BC. And here we have the scenario. So we have the Macedonians, or Macedonians if you will, and the Romans once again battling it out like they did well, many years before this, actually, in Kinoskefale, if you remember that, we played that. Of course, there had been other battles in between, because this is fetched from the Third Macedonian War, where we have, well, it's the last Antigonid king of Macedonia, or Macedon, called Perseus, who has, there's been a few years of war before this, actually. Again, it's the Third Macedonian War. Now, the thing is that, well, the Romans have gained more and more control of the Greek world, so to speak, right? And there are still a lot of resistance. I mean, Macedonians have really been an ally to Romans for a while now. So, if you remember, when the Romans were battling the Seleucids, the Macedonians were, kind of an ally for the Romans. They let their troops through there, and they even committed some troops into the battles fighting on the Roman side. But now we have Perseus here, who, well, he has also been allied with Romans, of course, in the Macedonian style of late, but but he did some actions that were considered anti-Roman in the Senate, so that caused a lot of concern. Also, the king Eumenes of Pergamon, that would be, held a speech in the Roman Senate where he accused Perseus of, being a real aggressor over in the Hellenistic world, wanting to expand his empire and acting really anti-Roman, and that became a lot of, or that generated a lot of upset in the Roman Senate. But Perseus tried to calm it down. There was a lot of diplomatic movements going on pre the war, and well, not to that much of a success. And the Macedonians actually, accused the Romans of, they pretty much wanted war and just waited for a reason, or for a casus belli. But I don't know. You could also say that Perseus probably was doing some anti-Roman things there, so it's not just one-sided with Roman being the aggressors here. Anyway, eventually, although there was a lot of diplomatic movements and trying to secure some kind of a peace, it ended with the Romans declaring war at Perseus. Perseus had he knew that it would come, so he had been preparing for war for some time also. So he was not unprepared when the Romans sent forces over to Greece. So if we look at the what happened before Pydna and during Pydna, at this point, Paulus, I think his whole name is mentioned here somewhere. Where is he? Here he is, Lucius Aemilius Paulus. He went over with 2 reinforced legions. He had Numidians with him. He had also, when he got here, some allies from Greece. And Perseus had also a lot of allies, of course, in Greece. There were, he was not alone with being anti-Roman in this point of time. There were many Greek states that, really liked the resistance against the Romans. and also a lot of Thracians were on the Macedonian side here. Anyway, Polus, who was a consul, went over with 2 legions, the Numidians, and some Greek allies here, campaigning against Perseus. Both sides wanted pretty much a decisive blow here on each other. During the year 168, well, pretty much south of the place where the battle took place, they both had their camp on the opposite side of a river some days prior to this battle. And no one were really daring to do the attack. The Romans made some movements though. They sent Scipio, one of the generals also in this battle, with a separate force. I think it was about 8,000-9,000 men, including cavalry and infantry, on a big, a flanking move, because there were a lot of mountains. This was a big mountain range here to the west of where the armies were located. And Scipio was sent as a flanking force through some mountain passes and ending up in the rear of the Macedonian army. However, Perseus knew about this. He got some information by some Romans who went over to the Macedonian side. So he sent a force over there to block the Roman flank movement. I think he sent like 12,000 men. Anyway, the Romans and the Macedonians clashed there. And the Romans were victorious. The Macedonians started to retreat back to the main camp. And Perseus felt a bit insecure here. So he took the decision to move back his whole army pretty close to the town of Pydna. So there they set up new camps. And Perseus, he had some pretty good terrain there for a good phalanx battle. So he wanted to have a battle, but the Romans were not that willing to grant them that. So instead of just following, they were in a north-south axis where the Macedonians were in the north and the Romans were in the south. But they went kind of westwards and camped in the foothills of that mountain range I was talking about. So that's why we have some pretty much of a rough terrain here, because the Romans were, and we see the Roman camp here as well, they were camping in the foothills of this mountain range. So a bit difficult terrain to deploy the big phalanx, right, for the Macedonians, but not that good of a terrain even for the legionaries. Anyway, the days went by. There were some different. I've seen some different reasons why the battle eventually took place, but probably what happened was that we had some foraging parties on both sides coming in contact with each other, having some skirmishing happening. At some point, the Roman, I think it was said as a watering party here, some kind of a foraging party, went a bit too close to the Macedonians, so they committed a few troops there in the attack, and eventually and suddenly, a bit of unexpected, the phalanx started to move towards the Roman camp, and that's what we are seeing here. Basically, Perseus doing the attack here. So both sides arrayed for battle, and the phalanx moving forward in a steady step here. We have a lot of phalanx here. So the Romans had really some problems in the beginning with the tight formation of the Macedonian phalanx. So it looked like Macedonians were getting the upper hand here. But as said, we had some really bad terrain for phalanx style movement and battle here. So as the battle went on and the phalanxes entered more and more rough terrain, they kind of broke up and a few flanks were exposed here and there, right? So after being a bit in a hard situation here, the Romans saw an opportunity and they poured into the gaps and the open flanks and started to getting the upper hand in these zoomed in battles that were happening throughout the battlefield here, and that caused more and more problems for the Macedonians, who started to break up actually here. At the same time, the Romans also launched a counterattack on their flank. As I said, they had some Numidians with them, with the leader Misogenes here, featured in this battle as well. And they had actually 22 elephants. At least 22 is a number said in the scenario information here. We have 2 units of them here, so probably 10, 11 each in each unit here. So they counterattacked, and they managed to win the flank battle here against the Macedonians. And that caused more problems, of course. Now they were threatened from the flanks as well. On this flank, well, Perseus is located here with his cavalry. And we have Scipio here, the flanking guy. But if I got it correctly, there wasn't that much action. And that really got, Perseus and the cavalry troops here, they got accused after the battle that they didn't really participate in the battle because they didn't do anything. They never committed to the battle, and that, well, they were accused of cowardice, basically. So not much happening here. Perseus, seeing what's happening, his phalanx was breaking up, and they started to retreat and rout. His left flank was beaten by the charge of the Numidians. So he actually fled the battle, and of course that's also why he was accused of cowardice here, together with his cavalry. But he got away. The Romans won the battle, and there are some horrific casualties. I don't know if it's mentioned here, but I think it was like, I don't know, but I think it was it 20,000 casualties or something like that on the Macedonian side, and I think it's a few hundred on the Roman side, probably a bit more even. But anyway, as you know, in ancient battles, when the rout begins and the pursuit starts, that's where the high casualties comes, right? So probably that was what happened. The Phalangites and all the other guys here, Thracians and all, were trying to get away, hacked down by Numidians hot in their heels and so forth. So probably it's true that many died on the Macedonian side, and I think it's also said that they got some 10,000 prisoners or something like that. So a big victory for Paulus. Perseus got away, as I said, but later on in the war he was actually captured. He was brought to Rome and as a prisoner. And if I remember correctly, Paulus got triumph out of this war, of his success in this war, and Perseus was, dragged around in a cage on the streets of Rome in this triumph. Also, I think there are also some different accounts on what happened with Perseus after this. Some source said that he died. He was killed more or less 2 years later in Roman prison. Another source, I think he was, he was held captive but could live a quite peaceful time in a country house outside of Rome somewhere. But I don't really know what happened with him. I think also he got a son, and he also was in Rome, and I think he was quite successful in Rome eventually. But that's a different story. I'm not really sure if I got that all right, but I think so. Anyway, Pydna, big win for the Romans. Again, this is seen as, testing the legionary style against the phalanx style, and again the legionary style wins. So this is one more step to the decline of the phalanx style warfare. And speaking of that, we can check the War Council and special rules, because the special rules is the same as we have seen before. It's a Roman tactical flexibility. So whenever unsupported Greek heavy infantry in a non-broken ground terrain is attacked by a Roman medium and heavy infantry, the Greek heavy unit, if able to battle back, may only use 3 dice instead of 5. So as I have said previously, if I remember this special rule, I'm gonna sure use it. I cannot guarantee that. Though the War Council, well, Perseus is the leader of the Macedonian army. They get 5 command cards and they will move first. The Roman army with Consul Polus will get 6 command cards. So this means we're gonna give the Romans 1 more card in slot A here. What else? Well, I think that's basically it. We have some terrain to consider here as well. But let's take a look at the battle board here. So for terrain, we have the Roman camp over here. And if we just try to remember the rule of those, when attacked in close combat, the defender can ignore 1 sword and a flag. In ranged combat, you can ignore 1 flag. Anyone battling out from these hexes get 1 less die. That's both for close and ranged combat. And the protection is for all hex sides. Then we have broken ground over here. That for movement, that's not too much of an impediment for the infantry. They can just move as normal, and they can battle when they enter these. However, cavalry and lone leaders have some problems. They need to stop and they cannot attack when they enter such a hex. That's also true for any momentum advance. For battle, it's 2 dice in and out. And I think that's both for ranged and close combat. But of course, not that much effect on range, since that's max 2 dice anyway. So for some tactics of this battle, well, I looked at it and I was thinking, you know, in history, the Macedonians pressed forward, they entered these, you know, difficult terrain, and they got attacked in the gaps by the Romans. When looking at the setup here, I'm thinking of the, you know, doing the opposite, more or less. I mean, if you look at the composition here, we have loads of missile-capable units on the Macedonian side. Not that much on the Roman side, actually. We have 3 light infantry here, probably velites here, and probably Numidian light infantry over there, Numidian skirmishers. So, and we of course have some Numidian cavalry. We're going to look at that in a moment. But still, we have a better skirmishing force on the Macedonian sides, and we even have 2 units of bows there. So I'm thinking we do the skirmish here on the Macedonian side, and we won't press forward with our heavier guys. We want the skirmish fight to prolong as long as possible, more or less. As the Romans, it's quite the opposite. We don't want to get bogged down in a missile fight here. We want to get up and fight. So I think the Romans will actually press forward in this one. On the right-hand side, it would of course be nice to get in the elephants, especially against those heavier type troops there. So I might do the charge by the Numidians here, because I can screen my elephants pretty nicely. I can get some light infantry in front. I can even get the Numidian cavalry up in front, so the Macedonian missiles cannot reach our elephants. Let's see if we can pull that through, and also just, you know, move forward with our legionaries here. I mean, even if we enter the broken ground, well, it's gonna be 2 dice, but it's the same for the other guys. They also just get 2 dice in, so it will be an even fight that way. And in the Romans' favor, we have 3 leaders instead of 2 over there. So that's also a better thing for close combat, you know, having the leaders hitting with leader symbols as well. So I'm going to do that and see what happens. Well, that's a general plan at least. And also, you know, we have one more card as the Roman player, so we have a bit more flexibility in our choices here. So let's look at the armies and start with the Macedonians. So their right-hand flank is led by Perseus himself, having some medium-heavy cavalry. These guys were the ones really, you know, criticized for not participating in the war. So let's see how it goes. We have a bit of a upper hand on the Roman flank here, cavalry-wise, but they got a heavy one here. Then we have light infantry and bows, and as you can see, the bows are already in range for at least 3 Roman units here. Then we have some probably Thracians, I believe, over here, 2 auxilias, and that's the right-hand flank. Then we have the main phalanx line here. It's 4 heavy infantry units with a bit of a gap in the center here for some reason. Then we have another bow unit already in range of that Velite unit here. And some light infantry down here. On the left-hand flank, we have a leader called Hippias over here with heavy cavalry. I'm a bit struggling with who those guys are, but I think it said that we had some kind of a guard cavalry here, or companion cavalry. Maybe that's those guys. I would have believed they should be appearing here together with Perseus, but maybe that's those. I'm not really sure. Otherwise, it's some allied Greek cavalry. They're really heavy guys. Anyway, we have more light infantry in front. Then we have a medium heavy here. I believe those could be some Greek allies. And the light cavalry. More Greeks, probably. Over on the Roman side, we have their left flank, led by Scipio, the guy who went on that flanking move. Heavy cavalry. Not sure who those guys are. Maybe Greek allies, maybe Italian and Roman cavalry, but I don't know why these guys are put as heavy. Not sure. Then we have Italian and Latin allies, probably here, Auxilia, and attached to one of those are Scipio. Then we have some Velites up front. Then we have the main legionary line here in the center. 5 units of medium heavy infantry and 2 triarii in the back, as it should be. 2 heavies, and here's Consul Paulus himself. Then we have, and he's in front of their camp, by the way. Then we have the, should we call it the Numidian right flank? We have Isogenes, the Numidian, and we have 2 light Numidian cavalry here. We have a medium. These could be Roman cavalry. Then we have the elephants that the Numidians brought with them, and 2 light infantry up front. Probably, I could believe these guys are the Velites from one of the legions, and these could be actually Numidian skirmishes. I believe so. So pretty even armies, at least if you look at the unit count. So it's going to be interesting to see how this goes actually. And as I said, the battle plans will be a bit more aggressive Roman player than in history probably, and a more skirmished, focused Macedonian army, at least from the start. So by that, I think we are ready to start the battle. So we have Perseus starting the game, so we're going to check the Macedonian cards for slot A and B. We have an inspired center leadership, 4 units right. The 4 units right could be interesting. We could get in a big, skirmish attack on these Velites. By the way, I don't think these terrain blocks line of sight, but I'm not 100% sure right now. I'm going to check that before I start the game, actually. Hold on. Okay, no problemos there. These are not blocking line of sight. So let's see what Perseus, how he will open this battle. Okay, tactics card or lowest order count. Once again, I need to check the leadership cards. What do they count as? Troop and leadership. Okay, so we have two. We don't really have any tactic cards up. So how do we resolve this again? If there is none or only one face-up cards, play any tactic cards. Okay, so basically I need to play one of these, and both are eligible. But yeah, we actually have a leader in the center section, so we could actually order those guys. Pretty interesting, but I think I go with what I said. I want to bombard these guys with a lot of missiles this turn. So I'm gonna order 4 units, right? So the bows, the light infantry, and I'm gonna order up these guys as well. So the bow unit stays. These guys goes 1 hex forward. So do the auxilia. Here we go. So I'm gonna start with auxilia. 1 die against that Velita unit. Miss. Second auxilia, same target. Miss. Let's take the bow, same target. 2 dice. Let's hope we get some hits. Nada. And then 1 more. These guys did move, so, well, in that case, I think I throw them against Scipio's unit there. No hits. No hits at all. Well, we got a lot of units in range at least right now. So let's replace the card, and then we'll check what Paulus has in up his sleeve. So we have an outflanked, we have a right leadership, that would be the Numidians, and we have 2 units center. Okay, let's see what he can play. He got the same result. No tactics cards up, so I probably need to do the 2 unit center then, because the other will order more units. So 2 unit center it will be. We don't have any skirmishes up in the center, so I guess we're just gonna starting to move up our guys here. So let's do like this. I'm gonna get my Triari with me. Here we go. I mean, if the auxilia stays there, we can do an attack in the, without entering any difficult terrain here. That was a quick one, so replace the card, and we go to the Macedonians again. This time it's a C, D, or E. Let's check what we have. We have 3 units left. So over there, we have Dark in the Sky. I almost think I'm gonna play it already. So, yeah, I will for sure do the Dark in the Sky now, because we have a lot of units here who cannot retreat. Of course, they are supported, but still. Dark in the Sky, that was a good card in this situation, I believe. So who could fire? All these can fire. These guys are in range, but they are blocked by that auxilia unit, so they have no target. And nothing over here, because we only have, javelin units, so no 3 hex range ranged unit there. Okay, so let's mark those guys who can fire. It's these 4. Start with auxilia. So they are seeing the threat of those legionaries coming up. They're sending up the Hastati here now to challenge these guys, so we're gonna bombard them before they reach our line. 2 dice, because we are staying still. And that's 1 hit. This is really important skirmishing by the Macedonians now, because they can really soften up this line now. And since the Dark in the Sky, we can attack twice. Same unit. And another hit. Wow. Okay, so this unit is done. We have the second one, same target. Since this is not blocking line of sight, as I said. First attack. Yet another hit. Wow. Okay, I don't think this Hastati is that eager anymore to attack up there. Okay, but we have one more attack to do there. Now they missed. I think the bow unit will take the same target because we can eliminate that unit. So first attack, same target. And there's the blue. We got it. So whole legionary unit down by skirmish. We don't see that too often. So we got the first banner. By the way, I didn't mention that this battle goes on to 8 banners, so this is a fairly large one. Actually, let's put the banners here so we see which ones we have gotten. So it's 1-0 for the Macedonians. Well, that was a hard blow actually. Second one, I think I can fire, you know, from here to here. So I'm gonna fire against Scipio's Auxilia in this second attack. That's a miss though. So the bow unit is done. But we have the light infantry still, and we target the same unit here. That's 1 hit. Meaning we need to check Scipio. He's okay. Second attack, same target. And that's another hit. And the flag, but the flag we can ignore. But of course we're gonna check Scipio once more. He's fine. Okay. That was something. It's not usual. You know, usually don't see that big of an effect of a skirmish. Of course, this was a dark in the sky, so it was a double one, but still, I like it. Okay, that was a how can you say it? Cold start for the Romans, maybe. I don't know if you can say that. Okay, let's roll for the Romans. That's a C or lowest order count. We don't have the C yet, so we're gonna see the C. Okay, that's a counterattack. So we could also darken the sky. That would give us 2 units, actually 3 units who could do it. Problem is these guys can retreat pretty easy, and then we lose the skirmish ability there, but maybe that's not too bad actually. What are our other options then? So lowest order count would be for sure these cards. We could do an outflanked. That's not bad either. 2 good cards here to either counterattack or the outflanked. Well, I think I play the outflanked, actually, in this case. So I'm gonna order the cavalry, and I'm gonna relocate Scipio. Yeah, and over here we're gonna slowly start our preparations towards our planned assault here at the Romans. So let's see who we're gonna get up there. Should we skirmish it out, or should we start moving forward some of the heavier guys? I think I might move up some Numidians over here, actually. Numidian cavalry, that is. Okay. So the cavalry over here, they will attack. Scipio will move to the Triarii. And over here, let's see. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And same there. We're gonna start with some skirmishing here. Okay. So here we're gonna attack. Those guys will try to evade. But let's see, we got actually 4 dice, and we're hoping for greens. None rolled, so these guys were prepared, they just went over there. Okay, I'm a bit vulnerable here now for the counterattack. Anyway. Okay, so here we're gonna throw some javelins, 1 die each, and starting from here against that light infantry there. Miss, second one, same target, flag, but those guys are supported, so they don't care too much about that. Okay, that's it. The Romans have a bit problems to get the things going here. Okay, this is really the beginning of the battle, but still, and lost already 1 unit. That's pretty awesome. Okay, Macedonians. That's a tactic card or lowest order count. No tactics cards up, so that needs to be 3 in the center or 3 on the left. And I think I could, well, 2 interesting choices once more. Maybe we should answer here, because we don't want these guys to be able to throw a 2 dice javelin attack next turn. So let's go with 3 units left. 3 units. We're gonna skirmish as much as we can, and let's bring forward these guys as well. Or should we start moving that heavy cavalry closer? It would not be too effective against the elephants eventually, so maybe I still go with these guys. They have moved. Okay, let's do that. So let's start here. 2 dice against the Numidian leader there. And he's light cavalry. That's a flag, but they can ignore it. Second light infantry, same target. Another flag. Of course we could take it more or less, but on the other hand then these guys lose their support. No, I stand my ground. So lastly we have these light cavalry, same target. 1 die this time. And now they hit. Now they hit. So we need to check, what is the name? Miscegenes, I think the Numidian is called. Oh, double greens, that's okay. So that's it. Oh, come on. Here we go. And new card. Okay, Romans. Well, they got the chance here now when they are in position. Okay. Tactic cards are the lowest order count, so it will be... Counterattack would be 3 units over there. Not bad. Inspired Center Leadership. We could get... maybe that's too many. Yeah, needs to be this one or this, the counterattack. So either coordinated attack, 1 on each sector, or 3 units over here. I think I play the counterattack now. It was a bit reckless of the Macedonians to send forward these guys because they had, you know, a big retreat. I think we could, when they retreat many hexes, you know, so we could eliminate those guys this turn actually. Then we have 1 more unit. We could move forward. Let's bring forward our velites. That's it. So hoping to roll some flags here. We start here against that light cavalry who dared to go unsupported out on the flank there. We got 1 hit. First Macedonia lost, by the way. Second one, same target. Come on, a flag. No, that was a complete miss actually. So those guys were lucky. I was a bit silly putting them there unsupported actually. Then we have one die attack. Let's just take one. Let's take these guys then. That's a miss. Replace the card, and we're off to the Macedonians. It's an A, B, or C. Center leadership. 4 units left. Or light troops. Light troops would be actually 5 light troops. I think I'll go with that. The 4 units right would also be nice, but I'm gonna, you know, I'm here to skirmish. So I'm gonna actually order those guys. That's 3. We can do 2 more. We're gonna fire against that cavalry. And we're gonna throw some javelins from here. Let's do that. So let's start here. Or movement first. Maybe I need to move this guy away, actually. I was a bit silly there. So I'm gonna move it to 1 hex back. Yeah, that's it. Or actually I could do 1, 2, and 3. Let's put it in some... not sure. No, let's put it there anyway. I don't want to block the path of those guys either if they want to ride around and do an attack later on. Let's do it like this. The other guys will stay and just battle it out. So let's start on this flank. So we're gonna fire some arrows against heavy cavalry coming here. That's a miss. Then we have the auxilia throwing their javelins against that light infantry unit. They got 1 hit. Then we have these guys. These are unsupported, so we're gonna try them. 2 dice. Oops. That's 1 hit actually, but no flags. We're not pushing them back. Second unit, same target, I believe. I tried to push those back so they cannot throw javelins against me. But that was a miss. Okay. But as a Macedonian player, I'm happy with having this skirmish action going on, right? And if you look at the casualties, you know, who's getting the better out of it? I think it's the Macedonians, yeah. It's, so they want to continue. They are really happy. Let's play the Romans next. It's a C, D, or E. Medium troops. Clash of shields and light troops as well. Light troops could be really nice at this point. We can get... But do we want to continue the skirmish, or do we want our guys to get forward now? Light troops would actually activate 6 of my units. That's pretty many actually. How many do we have? We have, yeah, a few. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. We're still in a kind of a skirmish phase anyway. So I'm gonna take a chance while I can. Let's see, should we take those guys? Where can I get them? Okay, let's do it. And then that's 4, so 2 more units I'm gonna throw from here, and I'm gonna move up my auxilia. So these guys moves up. This guy stays. These guys move sideways 1, giving room for the Numidian lights. Let's say these are Numidians. These guys just stays. Yeah. So let's start here. We got these guys throwing with a 1 javelin attack, or one die attack, I should say. Probably more than one javelin coming up from this unit, since it's first volley as well. But that was a miss anyway. Then we have these guys. It's 2 dice because they're staying. Same unit as target. And now they got the nice hit there. 2 hits on the bows. Pretty good. Now, over here. You start with these guys. The Numidians throw the javelins, 2 dice. That's 1 hit. We're seeing the count. The toll is rising here. And same target, 2 dice. Nothing though. 1 die, same target. Miss. And then we have these guys who will attack that light infantry. Sorry, there we are, with 1 die. And they hit. Okay, the Romans are evening out the death toll here. And actually I think by that we are pretty happy with the first session here. So, did we manage to do what we planned? Well, the Macedonian player is pretty happy. He's getting this battle where he wants. A lot of javelins and arrows flying in the air. They got the nice dark in the sky here, and that, remember, eliminated a whole legionary unit. That was valuable. So therefore we have a count of 1 victory banner against 0 for the Romans. The Romans, well, they haven't really get started with their heavy troop to move forward. They have been engaged in these and accepted this kind of a skirmish phase here with the Numidians battling it out against the Thracians over here. And we have Velites together with Italians, Italian allies here, throwing the javelins back and forth. And, well, I think we are soon, this battle is mature to go to the next level, you know, starting moving forward the legionaries, even though we lost 1 already. That's bad. But we have the Triarii with us, and we have Paulus and Scipio ready to start a march towards the enemy. Let's see how that goes, but that's all for part 1. Hope you enjoyed it. I did. It's gonna be interesting to see how this continues. So, hope you'll be back for part 2. See you later. Bye-bye.